By the end of the 14th of May, the Gustav Line was beginning to crack under the pressure of the Fifth and Eighth Armies. The Polish Corps continued to reorganise after heavy losses on the first day of the battle and prepared to attack again on the 16th of May. 13 Corps had bridges operating over the Gari and a bridgehead that was up to 2 miles deep. 2 Corps had broken through into the Aurunci mountains, while the French Expeditionary Corps, which reached the Liri on the 13th of May, had captured Monte Maijo. On the 13 Corps front, 78 Division had been ordered to enter the bridgehead west of the Gari and begin an attack to break through the Gustav Line into the Liri Valley. A plan was devised which involved 2 brigades advancing in phases. The attack would start with an advance to the Grafton line on the Cassino to Pignataro road, north of the Pioppeto. The second phase entailed an attack from Grafton to a line running through the hamlet of Synagoga, named Pichli. In the third phase, 78 Division would reach a line named Fernie, which ran through the village of Piamarola on the Pioppeto to Highway 6, and the final phase involved advancing to the Diadem line extending south from a farmhouse overlooking the railway to Rome. The overarching goal was to reach the road, block German forces withdrawing from Cassino, and clear the way for armour to advance north to Rome. At midnight on the 14th of May, 6th Royal Enniskilling Fusiliers of 38 Irish Brigade was told that it was essential that Grafton should be reached by dawn the next day. The battalion set out in file following the Piopeto's northern bank at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because the route from the stream had been blocked the previous day by a tank supporting the 2nd 4th Royal Hampshires, there was to be no armour support until a new bridge over the Pioppeto was built. By 4 o'clock in the morning, leading companies reached Massa Deventitis without opposition, but they were hit by machine gun fire at Massa Tamburini at about 4:45. When the sun rose, 2 skins companies were about 70 yards from German positions in corn in a blanket of fog, with German tanks nearby. By 8 o'clock, a new bridge had been built over the Pioppeto. Tanks of 16th Lancers came up behind the forward companies. The skins attack started just before 9 as German positions were shelled. Tamburini was taken at half an hour later. At 10 o'clock in the morning, artillery shelled Point 86 and the tanks pounded German positions. The skins charged downhill and then up to take Point 86. All objectives were taken soon after. The skins' casualties in the attack were 66, but Grafton had been reached. That evening, 11 Brigade, led by the 5th North Hamptonshire Regiment, moved through the skins to the Pignataro road to the northeast. 2 London Irish came up to 86 to attack Synagoga and the Pichli line that night, but its commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Ian Gough, was killed by shelling in the afternoon. The 2nd Lancashire Fusiliers, which was to lead the assault for 11 Brigade, had not yet been fully deployed. It was decided the attack would take place at daylight the next day. To the south, 8th Indian Division had reached its objectives on the Pignataro road. It spent the 15th of May consolidating and clearing German forces within its bridgehead. That evening, 1st Canadian Corps was ordered to relieve the Indian Division and maintain the advance in the south half of the valley, while 13 Corps was to put its weight into a joint effort with 2 Polish Corps to isolate Cassino and Monastery Hill. On the morning of the 15th of May on the 2nd Corps front, both 349 Infantry and 351 Infantry of 88 Division drove into the Aurunci Mountains, which rise to more than 5,000 feet. A patrol to Spignol found its garrison had fled. By the evening, 2 Corps had firm control of the south shoulder of the Spignol Gap, through which the French Mountain Corps had passed that afternoon. In the 85th Division zone, the 2nd Battalion of 337 Infantry had captured Hill 108 north of the Spignol Road Junction the previous evening. Patrol started immediately towards Castello Norato. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon of the 15th of May, 2 battalions of 337 attacked and were 400 yards beyond Castello Norato by midnight. The 3rd Battalion of 338 Infantry advanced on the left flank of 337 to mop up the last bunkers of the main German defences, and it reached the junction of Highway 7 and the Ausonia Road. To the north, the 3rd Algerian Division advanced on the 15th of May to Castelnuovo. An attempt was made to reach the road from San Giorgio to Esperia. That night, the Moroccan 1st Mountain Division, which had been formed into 2 columns, marched through the trackless Aurunci Mountains to the south of Esperia. Reports began to reach the Americans that women in Spignol were being assaulted. On the 15th of May, Royal Irish Fusiliers Captain Lawrence Franklin Vale was with his battalion west of Congo Bridge, near the Gari. They were being regularly shelled. That day, the Irish Brigade headquarters in the bridgehead was visited by 78th Division Commander Major General Charles Keatley.